Welcome to 98260, Season 1, Episode 1 of 6 Feet Apart. I'm Sue Frause, the host of this new show, and in light of the coronavirus outbreak, we are adhering to Governor Jay Inslee's Stay Home, Stay Healthy mandate for all Washingtonians. So instead of our original plan to bring this program from the stage at WICA, I'm coming to you from my kitchen right here in Langley. As far as how we're doing at the Frause house, we are in our second week of self-quarantine. So far, so good, with minimal trips to the post office and grocery store. And we do have our supplies. These wonderful wipes and these very fashionable gloves. The scary part is all the tasty baked goods that Farmer Bob is making, including these delicious looking bagels that just came out of the oven. I'll have to invest in much larger pants when this quarantine is over. Now, on with the show. It's only apropos that Verna Everitt is our first guest on 6 Feet Apart. As Executive Director of WICA since August of 2018, Verna brings a wealth of experience and expertise to the position. Her professional resume is impressive. She holds a BA in International Relations from UCLA and a Master's in Nonprofit Arts Leadership from Seattle University. She was co-founder of a film production company in Hollywood, writing and producing commercials, videos, and feature films. Most recently, she was Community Outreach Director for Vashon Center for the Arts on Vashon Island, where she grew up. So welcome, Verna, who, by the way, is much more than 6 feet apart from me, as she is also being videotaped in her home here on South Whidbey.
Hi, Sue. Wow, I can't believe it. I'm the first guest on 98260. Thank you so much for having me.
Verna, I'm curious, what similarities do you see between Vashon Center for the Arts and Whidbey Island Center for the Arts?
The similarities between VCA and WICA are that they both act as community arts centers, true centers for the entire community. VCA is celebrating over 50 years of being a community arts center, and of course this year Whidbey Island Center for the Arts is celebrating our 25th anniversary. I think that both communities obviously are chock filled with artistic folks, and people, whether you're an artist or not, they come to the Art Center to not only be entertained, but to be informed, to be educated, to be part of something bigger than themselves. So I think we have those things in common, most certainly. We make such a difference to the entire community by what we do, both VCA and Whidbey Island Center for the Arts. I like to say, imagine if you will, Whidbey without WICA.
And what are your biggest challenges?
So my biggest challenge is that at Whidbey Island Center for the Arts, we are jam-packed with programming. We have what we call a lit night. We have 140 roughly within a season. That means the team is so incredibly busy, like little hamsters on a wheel, just going. Every event requires, a marketing plan and so much work in every aspect to get it in front of our audience. So we're busy. That's the biggest challenge. But we have so much fun doing what we do. And we have a lot of inside jokes, we laugh a lot, and we have a ball. This is a dream job for me, and I think for my staff, who absolutely love working there. It's a great place to work.
Sadly, because of the scheduling, you had to cancel your first opera, The Photographer by Philip Glass, which was to run this month. How hard was that for you to cancel it?
No doubt it was a hard decision, but it was one that had to be made for the safety of everyone, including the actors, the singers, the musicians, the dancers, the choreographer, everyone, and the staff. So it was a difficult decision. However, what we now have is that precious commodity called time. We have time to reflect on the things that worked really well, the things not so well. I think we're going to be thinking a lot about it because we are bringing it back next season. And this gives us an incredible opportunity to put on a bigger and better opera. I like to say about the Philip Glass Opera, it's not your mother's opera. It is truly a multi-media extravaganza, and we're so excited to bring the first opera to Whidbey Island. So it just gives us something to really look forward to, work really hard on, and we're going to present it in 2021. So there you go.
On the schedule, there are 2 plays coming up, A Doll's House in April and A Doll's House Part 2 in June. What are the plans?
Well, Sue, believe it or not, Dina Duncan, our artistic director, had originally thought, what if we do the Dollhouse project in Rep? So that looks actually what we might do. Come June, we can open with Dollhouse 1 on a Friday, and then Saturday we move to Dollhouse 2. And how cool would that be to watch Nora's life in Dollhouse 1, and then 15 years later we come back on Saturday to see what happened to Nora and her family. I think that's going to be an incredible way to present the doll project to the community. So it's a silver lining.
And on a personal note, how difficult was it to talk to your artists and staff about postponements and cancellations of shows?
So it was a very difficult decision to make, especially making those calls with the artists who work so hard in rehearsals to present their shows to the community. But it was an easy decision with my staff, because my staff are such professionals, and we literally sat around a table and discussed the pros and cons of closing, and we all knew it was the right thing to do. I spent the day reflecting on what everyone had said. I called a lot of my board members, and in the end, I know we made the right decision for the community and for WICA.
I have my mug here, my Django Fest mug, which I love Django Fest, but of course I'm curious, what's the status of the 20th anniversary edition of Django Fest Northwest scheduled for September?
Sue, we actually have an incredible opportunity to work on Django Fest. Because we are shut down, we are focusing on the things that are going to happen in the future. And September is the future for us. So we're working really hard on marketing and doing all the programming and things that we have to do. This is the 20th anniversary of Django Fest, and I believe the entire community will be able to come out and celebrate with the international lineup that we have. It's going to be an amazing festival.
Last year's 2nd annual Whidbey Island Film Festival, which focused on the films of Alfred Hitchcock, was a huge success. Do you have any hints as to what we might see during the 2021 festival in January?
Ooh la la, Sue. WIF, Whidbey Island Film Festival. I love WIF. Next season, think Hollywood glamour. Think the golden age of Hollywood. We're going to be featuring films with Bette Davis and Katharine Hepburn, Orson Welles, and Humphrey Bogart. And that's all I'm going to say because my lips are sealed.
Okay, Verna, this is just for fun. Now that you've lived here for more than a year, what are your favorite aspects about life on Whidbey? And what do you enjoy doing when you're not at WICA?
I'm never not at WICA, Sue. I live there. No, seriously, I love Whidbey Island, and I try every weekend to go discover a new beach, a new path to walk on. I love it here. I love going to Prima and having a martini and steak tartare before I go to see a show at WICA. I love to walk on the beach before I go back to WICA. I discovered the dog park in Greenbank, and I love those walks too before I go back to work at WICA. I love WICA, but I love Whidbey too.
So that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to our first episode of 98260, 6 Feet Apart. Join us again for our next episode that will feature Lisa Carvey, owner of the Brayburn in Langley. Lisa, like many restaurant owners on our island, has had to improvise her day-to-day operations during the shutdown of restaurants in our state. In the meantime, Slow Food Whidbey Island has compiled a 14-page list of restaurants and food purveyors on the island that are offering takeout. You can access it at slowfoodwhidbeyisland.org. So, bon appetit, and don't forget to wash your hands.